it's a weird thing where you feel on top of the world because you're playing in from the biggest audiences you've ever had, but the pressure feels so freaking heavy that you're just like, it could crush me at any moment.
Welcome everybody to a brand new episode of We Were Loud Once. Today we have a really awesome special guest here, somebody that we've go back a really long time with. Good friend of ours and the man, the myth, the legend, Dustin Travels.
Yeah.
How are you, dude?
Doing great, man.
Doing good.
Hope
That's
you guys
awesome.
are too.
So Dustin, it's been, God, what's it been? 25 years, something like that we've known each other.
Yeah, man. Jeez.
It's crazy.
God,
Yeah.
I'm like,
if I didn't feel old already, I do now.
I know. Yeah, just off mic, Dan's like, I had to buy a new furnace today.
Yeah.
Now he's like,
that's how my day's going. So.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's like, oh yeah, we're also old because we've known each other for a long ass time. So, but yeah, man. For those who don't know, which would be really weird if you don't know this, but Dustin is former / kind of current. I don't know how would you call it, but lead singer to Dirtfedd, one of the raging new metal bands from the Midwest scene, stemming out of Lincoln. We had Brock on a few months ago, drummer from Dirtfedd, and he obviously shared a bunch of fun stories and everything like that. Obviously, everybody's got their own perspectives on different things and stuff like that too. So I can't wait to hear some of your sides of the story. But yeah, man, I mean, obviously we were in our band Downshift and we were in the Omaha scene, and you guys started Omaha, went Lincoln, but I think that you were most known for the Lincoln scene of everything. And so it was really fun that we were kind of like brother, sister counterparts and stuff in this area. And God, we played a bunch of shows together, and you were definitely one of our favorite bands to play with and stuff. And then, again, and we'll get into it, Dustin, but again, some of our listeners are gonna be like, okay, broken record here, Jeff, but dead serious. Like, I gotta say, like Dirtfedd, when you guys, got signed and went off, and you're touring and everything, like, dude, there was no other band in this area that could make us more proud. It's like, it really felt like family was out there doing it and stuff. And you guys represented everything, so it was awesome. But either way, again, welcome to the show. We're so freaking excited to have you here. And so what you been up to now? Let's live the adult life.
Yeah, just working the 9 to 5. I mean, made it back up into management, so I'm happy about that. So I'm getting decent pay, so I can at least afford some things in this economy. I moved out to West Virginia, been on the East Coast for a while. I was out in California for a while too. As soon as the band was done, I just hit college, nailed it out hard, and then got to work. And finally some things come together, started a family, got a home. I'm like, all right, things are moving. This is good.
Yeah. No kidding.
There you go.
That's awesome. Yeah. So like musically wise though, like you said, you left Dirtfedd and stuff. And I totally understand that, you got to just stop sometimes and move on and you hit the education trail. And I did the same thing, so I get that all too and everything, but it just kind of like lives within us and stuff too, and just that creative outlet and everything. What have you been doing creatively? Is that a word? No, creativity. Creatively. There we go. Creatively. Long day. No,
I picked up the guitar during COVID because I was out in California for that. So lockdown, I was like, I'm going to lose my mind, dude. I'm like alone out in the middle of California with nothing to do. So picked up guitar out there, started playing. Worked with a guy out in Sweden, put out a couple music videos, mostly just rock, a little bit of 50s rocks vibe mixed in there too, just some crazy stuff like that. And then recently, just been mainly me, myself, and the AI, just working on new stuff, man. Just trying to keep the creative juices flowing in the brain, mainly for the writing aspect. I always was a lyricist. I mean, even since high school, I kept, journals and notebooks, writing all my lyrics and poems and other stuff like that. But then I sit down now, play a little guitar lick, come up with something, run it through the AI, do some lyrics, play it back, then hit the piano. Well, my little Akai board or whatever, and just keep playing with stuff and get some stuff out there, and finally came out with an album. So I was like, all right, let's put this out there.
Nice. Well,
nice.
I'll jump right into that. So you launched that on the 30th. Is that right? January 30th?
No, I think it released, I started doing the pre-sale then, but released February 10th. Yep.
Oh, February 10th. Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Yep.
I remember January 30th because that was my birthday. And I remember seeing I remember seeing it. It was like, hey, that's pretty cool. But no, and I'll give you, and we'll put links up to it and everything. But
Yeah.
Great.
I gotta tell you, bro, that was awesome. And I know you are known for your heavy metal background and everything, but I gotta tell you, dude, like that is my style. Like I love metal, but then like what you did with this record, it's like very much like Jack White, almost like Raconteur stuff. Holy crap. It is really, really good. Very, very good.
I was channeling like the Jack White Black Keys with like weird strange things that would hit me at the time too, like some country influence would hit it.
Yeah.
And, like I think you can hear that at least 2 songs. There's like a good like country boogie backbone on one of them, and then like a honky tonk vibe in another one. So but I wanted to keep it pure rock and roll for the simple fact that rock can just amalgamate everything. Even some of the newer stuff I've been working on, I'm incorporating some more Manson-esque type metal style in some of it, which I hope to maybe put out later this year or next year as a follow-up. But
nice. Yeah, dude, it's real slick. It's real good. It's got such a freaking good groove to it and everything. It was just like, it was weird because I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna check this out. And like, to be honest, like I was in kind of a bad mood that day. And dude, I was like a minute and a half in that first song, and it's like, boom, good mood. It was just like, gosh dang, you know, it's
was
good
that My
stuff.
Own Funeral?
Yeah. Yeah. A little weird, but no, no, but it's got a good groove to it. And what's kind of funny is like, you know, I had 2 of my kids, you know, they overheard me listening to it and stuff. Usually they just hear dad listening or whatever, and they're like, whatever, you know, but this time they're like, what is that? That's really good, you know? And so I was like, oh yeah, check it out. You know, it was something that I was like kind of proud of, like, you know, or maybe not proud, but like totally cool with them over here. And, you know, sometimes I'm like, oh, you better not listen to this.
Right.
Yeah. I better turn this down, put my headphones in. But this was like, let's crank it up.
It's the cursing in there. Like there's a couple points, but for the most part.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So again, speaking of your musical background, and again, Dan, feel free to jump in. I'm sorry, I'm just all over the place here, but musical background. So obviously, you're most well known for Dirtfedd and stuff. Like, that wasn't your first band? You were in stuff before Dirtfedd.
Well, I mean, that was the first real band.
First real band, yep.
Yeah, I mean, I messed around with some stuff with some guys in high school when I lived in Japan, and then I messed around with some guys in high school when I lived in Illinois. But I dropped out, got my GED, moved out to Nebraska because I had read in, I think it was the Washington Post at the time, that Lincoln and Omaha were considered the new Seattle, Portland area for musicians. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, then that's where I need to go.
Nice.
And got out there. It was pretty much dogging it in the slums of Lincoln, and came across Cameron Rubel, rest in peace, our brother, and started jamming with him first. Then we picked up Brock and Eric, and then it just started going from there, dude. It just went wild.
Nice. Yeah. And you definitely did. I mean, that was the thing. It was like, you know, it was always cool to see some bands who are just putting in that grit, you know, that it was, you know, just, you could just see them slowly rise. And that was the thing. It was like every single time that I caught you guys as a fan, and then also like on stage with you, it was always cool that it seemed like you guys were always bringing another element. You know, you weren't just like, this is us, here we go. It was like, this is us, and we brought this, and this is us, and we've added this, and this is us, and we've grown into this, you know, and that was always
we're
really
trying
awesome.
This tonight. We're trying that.
Dude, it was wicked cool. And that was the one thing that, again, like, not to keep talking about downshift or whatever too, but like that was the one thing that we always try to do as well. And that's why I really feel like we adhered so well together, because I was like, man, they're not just a band that's up here just like, hey, we wrote some songs in the basement, check it out. It was like, you want a visual component, you want, you know, audio component, you want everything. And then plus, Dustin, you're a outstanding. You blew me away with your crowd work and everything. You're just an outstanding front man altogether.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. But okay, so again, you kind of started off in Omaha, right? If I recall,
I think that's where we started landing our first shows. It was a weird situation. Like, we started in Lincoln, but we couldn't get a show in Lincoln. But I wanted to say, like, networked with, I can't remember exactly who it was, Narcotic Self, if it was Vernaculus, or I can't remember exactly who it was off the top of my head. Brock might remember that better. But we finally started getting in out there, like the Ranch Bowl and stuff like that. And then finally, I think that helped us get into Lincoln, because we started getting recognition in Omaha. And Lincoln was like, okay, maybe these guys are good enough to let them in. There was also a lot of networking, a lot of pestering the ever living heck out of people to be like, look, we want to play on your stage.
You had to. Yeah.
There was hardly a metal scene in Lincoln at the time, and it was like, dude, this is our home area. We need to have a growing metal scene in our home area. Omaha's great. We love Omaha. Great place to go jam out, crack some heads, and lose your mind. But if you have nothing in your own backyard, what's going on?
Right.
Yeah. And sure. I think Lincoln has grown so dramatically since then too. Now, still being active in the metal scene here, Omaha largely gets passed over for national shows. Those are automatically in Lincoln. So there's just the scene just keeps building and building in Lincoln. So I think you guys were a really, really big part of that.
Yeah, I agree. Great. Yeah. That's you started something. Can you believe that? No, it's cool though, because if you really think about it, I fully believe that you did, because again, you guys were a national act yourself. You took off and you really put a lot of eyes on the Lincoln scene, because I think at the time everything was known, in Omaha and stuff, but then it was just like all of a sudden it's like, holy crap, here's this Dirtfedd band, they're from Lincoln, and I think it's just been growing ever since. But Dan's right, dude. Like the bourbon and everything is just, tons of national acts coming through and stuff. And I thought when like Knickerbockers was getting torn down, I was like, oh man, I was like, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was rough, but it's just, Lincoln's just booming right now. It's awesome.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt watching that, because I think I was in California at the time when that popped, or it might have been my last year in North Carolina before I moved out there, and I was just like, oh, that sucks. There's like a gut wrenching thing in there. Where it's like had some of the best nights of my career. There, and it's like, damn, see that going. It was a staple.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's like
total dive bar.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like the Ranch Bowl and Knickerbockers going down are just, it's like watching your parents' house get torn down. It's just it's hard.
That's a depressing analogy, but
yeah.
Is So-Called Auditorium still a thing?
It's the Admiral now.
Yeah,
1% sunk a bunch of money into it and upgraded everything. It's super nice.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful.
Yeah,
that's awesome. I was out there, but I didn't have a chance to swing by any of the old spots, and I was kind of curious. I was like, man, that place was a good place to play too. I wonder how that's doing.
Yeah. I don't think there's any, Dan, maybe there's not really any kind of like dive bar places anymore, is there?
Not really that I know of. I'm sure there are.
There's places probably like Steve's Tavern or something like that.
Yeah. If you want to go play on a floor somewhere. There's a couple bars out there, and I apologize, I can't remember the names. But there are a few. But a lot of those smaller venues kind of got gobbled up by 1% and these production companies, and they upgraded them. So it's like now you have smaller venues like the Reverb, which is right around the corner from the waiting room down in Benson. If memory serves, 200 capacity, maybe. Something like that. It's a pretty small room, but it's all brand new stuff, all upgraded. And nice. So it's like a lot of that kind of thing is happening, which is cool, because nowadays, it's like you've got, brand new bands that are just coming out that are rolling around with in-ear rigs, and they need that kind of, like just kind of doing a straight, drums or a kick snare mic and vocal mic, those days are over. What I mean? So
which is
unfortunate.
Kind of
evolved a little.
Yep.
You lose some of the rawness.
You do,
100%.
Man.
100%.
You do. Yeah, this demographic these days, though, they expect a lot more, which is cool. True. It's totally cool, but I'm just telling you, there's something I've said this before probably too many times, but like to me, like the Cog Factory, man, when you're just freaking jamming out and drywall's falling off the ceiling, just smells like piss everywhere, it's like. But it was always packed, there's shoes flying and crap, it was, oh my gosh, man. It was just something about it. It was like our place, and it was fun, but so what was like your favorite place to play? Like in, obviously Knickerbockers and stuff in Lincoln, but what about like Omaha?
Oh man. That's part of why I asked about So-Called. I really enjoyed hitting that stage. But there was a certain thing about it where it's like, it was that feeling that, okay, we made it to this level. That made that good. But then when we play like the waiting room or the slowdown, I think the other one was called. Like it was more intimate. And the crowds would get more violent and be like way crazier. And then the Ranch Bowl, of course, that's just memories that like are core locked into the brain. So it's hard to say. There was another one too, and I'm drawing a blank on it, but it was just like this tiny little hole in the wall, and it was one of those you played on the freaking floor. But man, the crowd would go nuts. I think we played there with the Matador or something, and dude, it was just insanity that night. And I just remember going, all right, that's one of the funnest nights I ever had, but I do not remember the name of the venue.
Like, sure.
There was a couple. There was a couple around. There was one called Shea Riley's that eventually turned into the Hideout.
That might have been it.
Yeah, it was down the street. It was still on 72nd down the street.
72nd.
Yep. That was probably Shea's. Yeah.
That was one of our favorite places, man. It was, oh God, it was so fun. Yeah, that place in like the Asylum.
Oh geez, I forgot about that place.
Like 13th and Farnham or something like that. Yeah. That place was, we like started the stage on fire one night, like accidentally. Like we blew the speakers went underneath the stage and it blew up and it started. Everybody's like, fire. We're like, yeah, we are on fire. They're like, no, dude. It's like,
you're on fire.
Yeah, we're on fire. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah, good times.
Yeah, but that's a Jimmy John's now.
It is. I know. Isn't that weird?
Ultimate irony. Yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? But okay, so Dirtfedd, like I said, Midwest and stuff, carrying the flagship, or carrying the flag, I should say, for the Midwest scene and stuff. You guys made it big, put out a record, killer freaking record. It's actually on our Spotify playlist, Shameless Pug, with We Were Loud Ones Spotify playlist. But again, what was it like, for you, Dustin? Obviously you lived in Japan, you lived on the West Coast, you've done all this other stuff, that had to have been a pretty epic point of your life and stuff, to all this. Yeah, I'm sure. But to like, you get this call and everything, and like, just walk us through, like you're kind of living your life. You're trying to get those steps, right? You're trying to get that traction. And then all of a sudden you start getting that traction. And what was that like?
So like, the one first thing that kind of hit me was like, got the opportunity to do a showcase, So Sophia at the river was like, hey, got a showcase opportunity. You guys want to try that? Because in the beginning, she didn't want nothing to do with us. Like, oh, the lead singer sounds like the guy from Goat Whore. They're horrible. And we were at that time. We were just trying to get things together. And but then we had finally got our crap together. And we were really slamming. We were really tight. We hit, right? And, got her out to another show, convinced her to come out and see us again. And then she came back with like, oh, there's this showcase. And we went out there and, oh, Shawn from Slipknot's going to be there. So there was nerves, there was anxieties, there was all the crazy stuff, but it also helped me put on one of the best shows because I always fed off that energy. I was like, no need to be a scared pussy over here, dude. Man up and get it done. And so that happened. And then it was weird because, gosh, it was like, I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but I got a call from Brock saying, hey, dude, can you drop what you're doing? We got to be in New York in like 24 hours or something like that, or 48 hours or something. And I was like, yeah, I don't care if the job fires me.
Yeah,
I'm dropping what
it's
I'm doing.
My chance. Yep.
And by a miracle, everybody else was able to do it. We took off to New York for another showcase. That one was it was rough, man, but it was weird because talking to Shawn afterwards, he's like, oh, it didn't matter how you played, bro. It's the fact you showed up.
Nice.
It's the fact you showed up. And it shows that you guys have the drive to get where you need to go. And then we did that one and we followed it up the second showcase we did out there. I think it was E1 Entertainment or something like that. It might have been Koch Records by that point. I can't remember which order they went in. A bunch of those showed up. That was a better show, at least for me vocally. I felt like I was hitting my stuff that time. The first time I felt like I was just god awful. I was like, ugh, gosh, and that's why I was worried. But that next one, he's like, yep, the fact that you guys were willing to do it again and you hit it this time and showed them what you could do, because it gave us a better venue too for the second one. And we got the New Yorkers riled up, and that was like a sign to them that, okay, hey, they're able to, translate what they got in the Midwest to the East Coast, which is a rough and rowdy scene, and get them going. I think that really solidified the deal for them. All that stuff to say, really, going through that process was a freaking blur. It was like a roller coaster of emotions. You were up one moment, you were down the next moment, criticizing yourself like crazy, worried, oh man, did I look good that day? Was I on point? Was I hitting my notes? Was I hitting my screams? Did I growl right? Did I do this right? Did I move enough? Did I jump around enough? Did I get the crowd worked up enough? Did I, you were just tearing yourself apart. And then you're getting all this good feedback too. So it's like, what?
Yeah.
And then then it's like, okay, yep, they're going to go through the whole, funding the record and everything like that. And that was kind of a long drawn out process. And it was kind of weird. All we did, I think at that time, was just really focus on doing local shows and really perfecting our abilities before we hit the studio. I had picked up Melissa Cross, Sin of Screaming, because I saw like Phil from All That Remains was doing that. And I was like, okay, let's get on that, man. And I started drilling that stuff. Like I'd have days where I wouldn't talk at all for 24 hours, sometimes more, just to save my voice so I could hit it hard again the next day. Like, and at times it was annoying. I know the band was like this freaking diva, like, and I had my moments. Don't
sure.
Get me wrong. But I was just so focused because I was like, man, this is our one shot. We gotta nail it. Nail it. And when all this stuff came together, recording in a real recording studio, ARC, another recording center over there in Omaha. They have a George Martin board, one of the few that was made from the dude that produced the Beatles and stuff. And just we recorded the drums to tape. We brought out a Leslie. We went, everything out, man. We did it. That was an awesome experience just to see how everything works from that side of things in a real pro place. And then hitting the road, that's where gosh, the money to metal mouth, whatever you want to say, I don't care. Like that's when the real truth happens.
Yeah.
Like you find out what you're really made of when you hit the road, because it's a new challenge. And you're starting off, you're not going to be in one of them cool tour buses like everybody else. Even if you are the band they're investing in and trying to develop, they don't care. Sure. It's not the 1970s. It's not the 1980s. It's not even the 90s, man, when they would still shell out tons of money to develop a band, get you in a tour bus right away and get you all over the place. It was load up your van, get out there. So some nights you're not getting a hotel room. Some nights you are. Some nights you're sleeping in the van. Some nights someone was nice enough to let you go crash at their place, and it's like the local scene, but on steroids. And you start feeling something weird in your nose. You're like, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
So you're doing everything you can, Betty pot, freaking tea, hot tea, everything just to try to beat it, because you're like, no, we got Phoenix next and we got this next. And I'm like, we got to nail for those shows. So it's a weird thing where you feel on top of the world because you're playing it from the biggest audiences you've ever had, but the pressure feels so freaking heavy that you're just like, it could crush me at any moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, because the other thing is too, is again, in the Omaha, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska scene or whatever, you guys had that steady, climb, but then all of a sudden it's just like boom, rocket ship. You guys just blew up and went out quick, and next thing you know, you're with Slipknot and Korn, and it's like, and there's so many bands to this day who would probably played in the scene, went down on tour for years and never had the opportunity to play with either one of those bands and stuff, and you guys are like right out of the gate, which was cool. But yeah, that had to been a huge dichotomy, to go from, playing the Midwest scene, and the next thing you know, you're in front of those stages, those fans and stuff.
Yeah, no, it completely was. And you would see how different bands or different crowds would react in different areas. Like one of my favorite was New Mexico when we were out with Devil Driver. The New Mexico fans lose their mind. We were playing like on a reservation up in Farmington. And I mean, they just got into it. I was like, man, nobody gets into it like this, even at home. What is going on? And I mean, dudes are flying across the room. They're picking them up and launching them. Dudes are going over the railing. I'm like, yeah.
Nice. We're moving here. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what the heck? But then you would get into like an area where you would think it would pop, man. And then they'd just be staring at you.
Yeah.
And you're like,
that stuff.
What is going on? I'm like, this feels like when we were just starting off, and we got that weird off show at Knickerbocker's, and there was only 50 people there, and none of them were understanding what we were doing. And like, I think LA was that way. Like, we had some people that got into it, but for the most part, everyone's just
like, what is this?
Like metal snobbing,
Yeah.
Like, and we're over here trying to max, dude. Like,
and
they're like not getting it at all. And then you get into Boise, Idaho, and they lose their freaking minds. You're like, see, guys like you who live out in the middle of nowhere that don't have all these options, you get it. You get it. We're coming from a place of pain where this is all we've got.
Yes. Yeah.
These guys got everything over in LA. These guys got everything over here. And
dime a dozen.
they don't get it. Yeah, exactly. And it's like they're like, finally somebody who wants me to rip the other dude's head off and knock that other person out. Like,
right. Yeah. Because you bring up a good point, because it's like, in some of those places and stuff, it's like they'll go months without having anybody even heavy there, let alone somebody good, a national act or whatever. And so, yeah, they're like, I'm freaking letting it all out. I got months of pent up bull crap at work and everything coming out, and somebody's getting punched in the face. I'm probably losing a tooth. It's going to be all worth it,
Yeah, exactly, man. I'm gonna go have stories to tell.
That's right. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, yeah. So what was that like though? Like touring with Slipknot, and I mean, because did you necessarily tour with them? I know you played some shows with them and stuff. Were you like on tour with them, or were you in Korn and stuff too, or what was that?
Those were like some all right, show up, prove yourself. You're ready for this stage kind of thing. They gave us like 3 or 4, like we did like South Dakota, Arkansas, Oklahoma City, maybe one more. I'm not sure. It might have been just those 3. Yeah. And when we kind of proved that we would show up and turn out, like what was crazy too was because like we did South Dakota, I had a fever of 104. I caught that stupid swine flu.
Oh yeah.
H1N1. And like I'm burning up, and I still went ahead and performed. Didn't care, man, because it was like, no,
you have to, yeah.
Prove. Yeah. And like afterwards, Clown was like, dude, you're burning up, dude. Go jump in that freaking. It was like it was a weight using water to hold the stage up. So jump in there and cool down. I was like, all right, smart.
Good
Jumped
idea.
In there and just like freaking laid in this ice cold water for a good 10 minutes before I got out of it, because I was just overheating.
Yeah.
It was just too much, man. It was just nuts, man. But then after that, we started getting like legs of tours. So like Dope's coming through, man. They want you to hit, from Chicago to Detroit, do the Midwest, the Great Lakes.
Yeah.
Right. So we go out, tour with them, do the Great Lakes. Oh, hey, Devil Driver's coming through. They need somebody from the Midwest to the Southwest. All right, we're hopping on. Do that. I think we did 2 with them. So we did a few of those types of things, and then we do the one-off, Lamb of God's coming through Lincoln. All right, cool. We hop on that one. Oh, Trivium's coming through Lincoln. We'll hop on that one. So anytime there was a national act coming through Lincoln or Omaha, we would get our name tossed in the hat, and often would get that position.
Sure.
And then it was after that, finally, it was like, okay, yeah, we think you're ready. We're going to push for the Rockstar Mayhem Tour, and got on that one, and that was the big tour. And then we got to do the first annual Knotfest too. So that was
yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, because I think Brock brought that up as well, because I think like for Knotfest, like technically speaking, you guys were the very first band to ever play Knotfest. Like, that is so freaking rad to say. Like there's only going to be 2 bands, the first band to ever play Knotfest and the last band to ever play Knotfest, and who's going to be the last band. It's going to be Slipknot. Right. And so that's so cool that you guys get a hold of that banner. It's like, well, yep, we're the first ones to ever play. That's freaking rad, dude. That's super cool. That's super cool. So this, and if you don't want to disparage anybody, I totally understand, but I'm going to ask you, favorite band that you got to play with, like when you're out touring and stuff, and then like you always hear the thing of don't meet your idols. Like, what was the band that let you down?
Those are both hard ones.
Brutal.
Yeah, right.
David Draymond. No, just we talk a lot of crap on old Dave. No,
I watched that same show. I was
nice. Yep.
Like, really good.
That show at the Royal Grove.
Yeah. It's like, this is good, but
a little wonky.
Yeah. So favorite, just a personal favorite, was Slayer. To be on the road with Slayer for the whole thing of Rockstar Mayhem was a dream come true. Because like when I first moved to Lincoln, the first show I went to was a Slayer show down in Kansas City. It was Slayer. Was it Unearth? No, there was some other band. I'm drawing a blank on it. And then it was American Head Charge. I never heard of American Head Charge, and I lost my freaking mind. It's when I fell in. It was like the War of Art album or something like that. Yeah. And like I lost my mind over them. I fell in love immediately. And then I was really there for Slayer, and like I'd been into Slayer since like the 90s, and was like, oh dude, we get to tour with Slayer. Are you kidding me? And everybody I met from Slayer was just the most laid back, coolest guy.
Yeah.
I loved them all, man. They were great. Like, now as far as the one that never meet your idols kind of thing, That's a hard one because most of them were really pretty cool. Or at least, you know, they weren't blowing us off just for being the new guys on the scene. They were actually pretty welcoming. There was one, and I'm drawing a blank. Was it OTEP? God, it might have been OTEP. Is that the one with the girl singer?
Yeah.
OTEP. Yeah, she was kind of a pain in the butt. I don't want to say that. She was just very rude and didn't give a crap about anyone.
Yeah.
And so it's like I just stayed out of her way. That's the only one I kind of did want to meet her and just be like, hey, you're pretty awesome. I really appreciate your tunes. But I was told even right off the bat, just avoid her, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard that a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Like, damn, I really kind of wanted to meet her too. That's
yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah. Oh well. She's talented, man. I mean, she's
right.
She's really gifted. She's very artistic and stuff like that. So you know, got to give her the kudos where it's due. You know, she's really good at what she does. You know, I mean, she's been known as one of the queens of metal for a very long time. You know, but yeah, I get you, man. Sometimes people, but I also think she's probably kind of introverted as well. And I think that sometimes when you're just in all that energy for so long, you're just like, just freaking leave me alone. You know,
right?
It's like I gotta do my thing and get paid, and get out. You know, it's like this is what she's clearly in it for the art, not for playing live, probably. You know, so
yeah.
But I get that. Yeah, I would have to say like, you know, one of Dan might have a different story, but like one of the ones that like totally turned me against them or whatever. How do I say it? Like, don't meet your idols kind of thing was the Misfits. Like when we played with the Misfits, oh bro, they were just like I know for sure.
I hate to say it, but yeah,
it was rough, man. They were just like, yeah, we want nothing to do with you guys. Just leave us alone. Just, you know, like they wanted to hang out backstage or on their bus. They didn't want to talk to anybody. And they were just kind of rude. Like we finally got to like talk to them and stuff. And they're just like, they didn't care. It was like, whatever.
That sucks.
Yeah. But
because they're like idols in the scene, man.
Totally.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. It was like, it was such, that's what we were coming across. Like, dude, this is such an honor to be on this stage with you guys and stuff. And they're just like, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
Oh man,
I need my protein.
That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But on the flip side too,
exactly.
To kind of dovetail that though, and kind of flip it around, you know, Narcotic played with Fear Factory back in September. And I will say Dino was probably one of the coolest guys in terms of nationals that I've played with. He was just, he actually watched our sound check. He's like, he walked into the Bourbon. It was completely empty, you know, and we were setting up and he came up and was chatting with us about guitars and stayed for sound check. He's like, dude, that was sick. We're like, oh my God.
Awesome. Heck yeah.
You know, coolest guy ever.
That's the way it should be. Man.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Amen.
Other than like maybe you're having a bad day, so you don't want to talk to people, but it's like that's the way it should be, is supporting each other. Because that was one thing that even Clown pointed out when he first had us out that showcase. Was like, you were out there for every opening band. What was that about? I was like, dude, I'm just trying to support my fellow local musicians, dude. This is an awesome opportunity for all of us. And to be honest, I'm watching to see how they're performing, see how much I got to up that freaking level, man.
Yeah, right.
Amen. Yeah, that's the thing. Like when you're headlining a show or whatever, it's cool. But there's something about like, you know, seeing the other bands and stuff play to actually, like you said, know where you're leveled at, you know. Yep. Amen. So I got to ask you. So one of the people in the, you know, new metal scene that I would have always loved to meet was Dez, you know. So you played with him in Devil Driver and stuff, you know. What was he like in person?
Dude, that was meeting a teenage hero.
Yeah.
And him actually being that hero.
Nice.
That was what that was like, because I was a big Cold Chamber guy, man. Like when I was skating in my teens, dude, it was always Cold Chamber or Pantera in my headphones.
Nice.
And then the occasional Slayer, man. Those were like my three go-tos. Maybe Ministry too. I'll mix that in there too.
Sure.
Big Ministry head.
Sure.
But to meet him and what he was doing with Devil Driver, I really loved. As soon as it came out, I was like, Dez is doing something. I got it.
Yep.
Right. And to go out on tour with him, he was like, dude, how do I put it? Like the Zen guru, dude, of touring, man. Because he laid real truth on me about being on the road and just what to watch out for, what to do better on, what to really focus on to keep your mind right on the road. And he was one of the first ones that was telling me to avoid the drugs, you know, and you know, he's like, there's a time and place for that. Yeah. And this is not the time and place for that.
Nice.
Like, and I was like, dang, dude. But he was really cool. He was like a shaman of metal, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be so cool to meet him, man.
That's awesome to hear because that's how I picture him.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
That's how I
he
see
kind of
him
comes.
in my
I've
head,
seen he doesn't do a lot of interviews, but the ones that I've seen him, that's how he comes across. He comes across very knowledgeable and very wise. Loves to share wisdom and stuff like that, But he seems really down to earth though too. Which is really cool. But yeah, that's awesome. So
yeah, no, he was good, and Corey was good like that too.
Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say, we knew Corey. Yeah, Corey was always like that. I'll share something with you that he shared with me off mic sometime. I'll tell you something that was kind of cool, but don't want the listeners to hear because it was probably not meant for the listeners. But either which way,
secrets don't make friends, Jeff.
That's right. We'll talk about it afterwards. But no. So speaking of Dez, so one thing that I always thought you and Dez had in common and stuff was like the crazy facial piercings. And that dude, I gotta tell you, your aesthetic when you guys were coming up and stuff just blew my freaking mind. You had like this long ass dreads with like the color freaking was that like
the wraps?
Yeah, the wraps in it and stuff, and then you just had facial piercings everywhere. I was like, God, this guy's freaking serious, I was like, I gotta go to work. I don't know if he's got a job, It's like, how can he get a job looking like that? Like this guy freaking put all of his chips in the middle and said, let's go,
Yep.
That was awesome.
I had to tie it up, dude, cover it, man. Like most of my tattoos I had to cover at work because I was working at Lincoln Poultry and Egg at the time. And luckily enough, I was in the warehouse, so most people didn't care. But when I moved up to like the day shift and everything like that, I had to like put makeup on my hands, cover up tattoos, take my piercings out. They'd let me leave a couple in, or I'd have to put those fake ones in. Like, so I did what I had to get paid. And then it was like, as soon as I'm out of there,
yeah. But like, then you guys, did you have all the hair and stuff like when you got signed, or is that because I know like when you're out touring and stuff, I remember you had the short hair and everything. But...
Yeah. So when the showcase came up, Sophia pulled me aside and was like, "Look, you need to cut that shit."
Yeah.
Like everybody's doing that in metal right now, and I know it looks cool for where you're at, but it's not gonna fly.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, screw it, man. It's just hair. It'll grow back if I really need to. So whip. And then I changed it up, man. Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of felt kind of good though, right?
Yeah. It was actually very relieving. Like
I bet.
It was like a weight, and like my neck felt better afterwards.
Yeah.
Too.
Like this
was so much better.
Yeah. I can turn my head and stuff and it doesn't hurt. Yeah. I'm sleeping better.
Yeah. Right.
Like this is a lot of weight. I did not realize how much I was carrying around all the time. Damn.
Right. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, because like I remember we played a show. Oh my gosh, what was that? There was like a venue underneath the link. What was that? Gosh darn, I'm sorry. There was that the arena
under the bridge, or
the 9th Street basement.
No. There was the not the Civic Auditorium, but there was the auditorium in Lincoln, and then there was like a venue.
The basement.
Was it the basement? Yeah. And so we played a show together, and it was funny because Dan knows exactly where I'm going with this. But we actually played the 9th Street, and I didn't put a lot of freaking effort in that show, or I didn't think we were going to need to, but it ended up being a packed house and ended up being one of our favorite shows that we ever played. It was so freaking cool. But there was a gal there who was putting on that show then underneath the auditorium at that venue there, and she was like, "Oh, we're putting on this show." Yeah, that's right, Chris. And so she was like, "We want you guys to play. You guys got all these crazy lights and everything. We want you to headline and stuff." And we're like, okay, we'll see. And it was like, and we're like, well, who's playing? And she's like, well, it's like Dirtfedd, and then like I can't remember. It was like there's a bunch of bands. It was like 12 bands that played that
Dead
day.
Echoes played,
and then it was like something Moose or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh yeah.
And I can't remember. It's like, but anyways, there was a bunch of bands, and we were like, yeah, this is awesome. And but then we were like, we don't want to headline. And she's like, no, you need to. You guys got those crazy lights. I'm like, no. Dirtfed's playing. I was like, please put us right before Dirtfedd. I was like, if we play after Dirtfedd, there's gonna be 4 people standing in the
playing
crowd.
to an empty room.
Yep, and we're begging her. We're begging her, and she's like, no. You guys have all these crazy lights and stuff. And I'm like, no. Please put us on before Dirtfedd. And she didn't listen to us. And we're like, okay, here we go. you guys get up there, you freaking just kill it. The crowd's going crazy and stuff. I'm like, and then I remember, Dustin, because you were like, stick around for downshift. These guys are our brothers. They're freaking awesome. I was like, yeah, that's awesome that he's doing that. And then you guys turn off your shit and everybody walked right out.
Yeah. I tried my damnedest because that was one thing Dirtfedd really worked to do is you don't want to follow us.
Correct. No.
We didn't.
We didn't.
When promoters would set this up that didn't know any better, I'm like, all right, it's your show. You're going to find out. But then I felt bad for the bands. And because like, no matter how much I try to convince people to stick around, these guys are actually really good.
Yep.
I didn't care. They want to hear it. And I'm like, damn.
Nope. No, I thought that, I thought that we had our own stuff, but people just didn't know us yet in Lincoln. And so, so I appreciated what she was trying to do for us wholeheartedly and stuff, but again, just to share the stage with you guys was awesome, and luckily we got the opportunity to do it a few times, which was really great, but I got to share another quick story. And then I'm sorry, I'm like taking all the stage here for a minute. I apologize.
You're good,
another one of my favorite shows with you guys was when we did the first Dimebag tribute at the Grove. That was freaking awesome, man. And I gotta tell you, like, this is my favorite memory of you. Okay, because it meant a lot to me. We ended the show that night with playing Suicide Note 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I felt like we freaking crushed it. I thought it was really cool. But like after the show, like you came up to me, because I think you guys came on right after us, and you came up to me and you're like, bro, that was fucking awesome. Like, good job.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah. And I was like, the crowd and all that other stuff, it was so cool. But to hear you say those words to me, man, it meant the world to me. I'll never forget that. It was awesome.
Dude, I'm glad I could touch you like that. Because like that was one thing I tried to pride myself on, being honest with people. Like not filling them up with BS, but call it straight. Like, hey man, you guys had a rough night, but I know you can do better. It's good. Because I would do that with myself. But then when somebody really stuck something, I tried to like give them the acknowledgement that they deserve for it. I want to make sure they at least heard it throughout that night. If no one else said it to them, I at least gave them, hey, you nailed that, bro. Like, yeah.
I really appreciated that. That again, that's always stuck with me all through the years and stuff. And it was super cool. But
awesome,
but anyways,
awesome.
We got to wrap up here in about 10 minutes. I know you got places to go and everything, so the stage is yours, man. I mean, what is there that you want to tell people? Like, what about Dirtfedd? What about we want to talk about the new metal scene? Like, let's talk about the new metal scene. It's popping off now. It's really starting to come back and everything. Like, what are your thoughts on that? Have you been paying attention to any of these newer bands coming out, like Tala or anything like that?
No, not really, man.
Oh, bro. Okay, well, I'll share.
Oh, you turn me on. Shoot them over.
Yep, I'm going to start sharing some stuff with you, because there is a new scene coming back. With it's a new metal influence, I would say. It's expanded and grown, and in different ways of like this new generation and stuff, and it's really cool. It's like the one thing, and this is again another thing that Dirtfedd was really good at, was just utilizing the technology that was before us to bring that audio, like just party. I mean, you guys had layers of synth and piano and all this other stuff going on. It was so wicked cool. And that's what these people are doing now. Again, they're bringing back turntables, they're putting tons of synth in it, there are tons of 808s, the whole thing into it, and it's freaking rad. So I'll share with you.
No, that pissed me off, because like I wanted more 808s on that first freaking international release, right? And they're like, no, man, those are gone. It's old. They're gonna think you're like 290s, bro. Like, and it's
but you're like, this is us.
You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot. You just need them in a few select places where it rattles the speakers and it makes somebody feel like they just got hit with a can.
Yep. Well, that was the thing. That's what you guys are known for live, though, too, is like, dude, you felt Dirtfedd. That was, I think, I mean, I'm not joking. That was one of the things that I think freaking really made you guys, was that you had so many layers going on live that it was like, you get some band up there that, they're good, but it would just be like, they sound completely different from like their CD or whatever compared to what they were live, or because they'd overproduced the record. But you guys sounded just like you were on the CD compared to what you were live, but you brought it freaking, you felt Dirtfedd. There was so much power coming off with just all the bass and all the synths and all the other stuff. And it's like, that's what it's all about, man. It's, you guys represent.
I'm glad we stuck with the 7 strings too.
Yeah. Yeah. Take that, Jesse. That's funny. No, I'll share with you some of these bands and stuff that are coming out now, man. Because
I'd
love to get your
it,
thoughts on it. Yeah, because you're really cerebral and stuff. When it comes to the musicianship and everything like that. So I'd love to get your thoughts on it. So
for sure, because like I've been wondering where the music industry goes as far as metal in general. Because for a while there it became like, oh, the band name you can't read, and the music you can't really understand, but it's got a good groove. It's heavy. I like it. It's all right. And then I just kind of fell out of it because it was just like, I'm gonna put on some lo-fi chill and work on this assignment.
Me too. Yep.
But when I was really big into metal, it was like I'm biking everywhere. I'm running laps. I'm doing
that
something.
Energy.
Right. Yep. And it was an ironic, weird mix where I'd have, heavy metal, and then all of a sudden I'd have some weird dance song that had a similar BPM. Right. That's all I wanted was the BPM to keep my rhythm, but I needed to mix it up, like every now and then, okay, dance song, whatever, but it breaks it up. Yep. And then next thing would be in bipolar.
Yeah. Well, you got to live it though, right? If you're you got to ride that wave. But yeah, no, I gotta say though, so speaking of which, again, coming back full circle to what we were originally talking about stuff. So the stuff that you've been putting out on Spotify. So where did you come up with the name? Wayne?
Wayne Ryan.
Wayne Ryan. Yeah. Where did that come from?
It's my middle name and my mother's maiden name.
Bro, that's cool. It's such a cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a cool sounding name and stuff. So that's cool that you put it together like that. So why didn't you go with like Dustin Travels or anything? You just wanted to do something to separate yourself from other things. Yeah. That's cool. That's
really it. Yeah. I was just like, hey, okay, I'm just gonna put this out under a different name. Create the band The Red Souls as this kind of like weird shout out to, I think it's Louis Vuitton or something like that, some designer thing, but at the same time there's that weird conspiracy. So sure. We'll play with this a little bit, right? And I was just like, we'll run with this, and I think it'll just be the Red Souls on the next album.
Okay.
But it was just one of those things where I was like, I'll throw this out there. It separates the Dustin Travels, even though you can look on there and it will say who wrote it and everything like that. Because I did put that in there, but you had to look for it. It's one of those things where it's like if you just caught it on the surface, you wouldn't know. And it's more that now I'm doing it just for the fun and love of it.
Yeah.
Just like I did in the early days of Dirtfedd. Before it became a business, before it became this national touring act, it was just for the love of the art, the love of metal, the love of, just getting out there and turning it up. Well, this is for the love of creative, instincts, the love of rock and roll, the love of just making music, because if I don't, I'll probably lose my mind at some point.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you, brother.
Creating.
I hear you. Well, that's the thing, again, do what you will, but again, I like the name of the Wayne Ryan and the Red Souls, because to me, it says something with all that compacted together, because it's like the Red Souls is like, the Black Keys,
I know, right?
But like Wayne Ryan and the Red Souls it almost tells you like, this is going to be something groovy, and I don't know, that's just outsider perspective. I think it's got a cool sound to it. So
I take that to heart, man.
Yeah. But again, it's a cool record, totally through and through. There's not a bad song on it. I love it. I think it's really, really awesome. And like I said, it's definitely something that puts you in a good mood, for sure.
Heck yeah. But I started with like 20 and cut it down to 14. So like I try to pick
that's
the
way
best
to do it.
Ones and no filler. Just all punch.
Good deal.
Yeah.
So when do you think your next record will come out then? Give it a couple of years kind of a thing, or
might just a year.
Okay.
It depends. Like I've got 10 songs already written.
Nice.
But I'm only really feeling like 5 of them right now. So I'm going to keep going. I might stop at an EP, just do like standard 7-song EP later this year or early next year. But if stuff starts really hitting, maybe I'll do like a full like rock opera. I don't know. It's just, because the vibes on the new one is totally more theatrical and
cool.
French Revolution. It's very weird.
Yeah, sounds like it.
All right, I'm into it.
That's cool. Yeah, you do you, bro. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait to hear it. That's cool.
There you go.
Well, I know we got to wrap up here. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about, or anything for the last couple minutes, or anything you want to say?
Just now, praise my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for turning my life around, and seeing that Dirtfedd, he helped show me that Dirtfedd ending was actually just a new beginning instead of just a horrible ending, because that's where I was when it first fell apart. I thought my life had ended. And I was pretty dark place, but if it weren't for Jesus, bumping me every now and then saying, hey dude, wake up, there's so much more to live for. That's the thing. I think any new artist coming up, have some faith. You got to believe in something other than yourself. I know it sounds corny and cheesy as all get out, but it can really make a difference.
Well, that's the thing, man. That first off, God bless you, and that's so cool to hear you say that, because the thing is, like, I just, and I don't want to get on a big preachy thing, but it's just like, but the thing is, I think as musicians and everything, there's a creative outlet and everything, but I think that all of us have a little bit of something in our heart that we're trying to fill, and sometimes it's music, and sometimes that's just enough, but also it's just like, when you find your faith like that, sometimes that's what it was, so God bless you for sharing that, and good luck with your life with Christ and everything, and I'll be praying for you. So
same for you, man.
Thank you.
And let's do this again sometime.
Amen, man. Again, we got such a good flow. You're fun to talk with, Dustin, and dude, I guarantee you got stories for days to share and everything as well. So I feel like we're just tapping the surface. So we'd love to have you back on. It would be an honor.
For sure.
So, absolutely. But all right, brother. Well, at that, we'll go ahead and wrap things up. Like I said, everybody we'll share a bunch of links and stuff of how you can follow Dustin and all of his music. And you gotta check it out. I'm telling you, it's good stuff. It's good. Dirtfedd and Wayne Ryan. It's good stuff. So all right, brother. Dustin, thank you so much for coming on our show, brother. It's been an honor. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Dan.
Yep.
Good to see you.
For having me.
You bet, brother. All right. Take care, man.
Peace.